Well, hello there, my fellow miners and crafters. Good times to Scar here, and welcome back to the wonderful world of Hermits and Crafting. Oh no, I am logged in as a Sumer. I thought today was Scar episode. Oh well, I guess today we do a Sumer episode then. Let's do a take. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode here on the Hermitcraft Mesa Fight server. I've just managed to lose my bearings, making mistakes trying to record the intro. And aha, the place that we need to be is over here. What is that? HHH? Is that what it says? It is what it says. It is my initial attempt at making a logo. A logo that looks kind of terrible because I thought, hey, the structure we're going to build here could have a logo on each side and it could be 3 H's. And you might be wondering, why 3 H's? Well, we had a landslide of comments. It probably started with just one, and everyone else joined in saying that we should call this one Hungry Hungry Hermits. And sometimes just suggested as Hungry Hermits. But I like the 3 H's, triples, threes. It's cool, right? So Hungry Hungry Hermits is what we're going to call it. And what's funny is that it's kind of similar to the game called Hungry Hippos. And in some countries, apparently, it's even called Hungry Hungry Hippos. So that's very fitting. But anyway, this was my first attempt at a logo. And I thought, it looks a little bit smelly. So let's try something a little different. This is what we're going to go with. And as the sun sets here, we should see it illuminate up a little bit because there are some torches hidden behind there. But this isn't the second thing that I tried. I also tried to use a different font, something where the letters were going to be thicker, and to represent, 3 H's, you really need to keep it quite small, simple and clean. Otherwise you end up with something massive, and we don't want to do that. We want to make this nice and simple because our building here is already getting a little bit bigger. But I like the way the torches keep it illuminated. So there's some on the inside just there and some below down here, and basically 3 H's, 3 white materials offset from one another, and it's lined up so the gap here in the middle is like in line with the middle, so the white wall is actually in line with the middle. So what we've done is we've extended our building area a lot further down in that direction so that the logo on this side will be visible and not hidden behind this building. And then that means there's one on each side, which is what we got so far. So the introduction to this episode might have been confusing. Well, confusing for 2 reasons. If you didn't see the last episode, then you won't know about this game that we're working on. So be sure to go back and check that out. But we're basically making a mini game. I won't go into it. And oh yeah, did I run out of quartz? No, I've still got quartz, but apparently somehow I missed the top of this. So let's sort that out while we're here. The other thing that might have confused you about the intro is how dorky I can be with my sense of humour. If you did not get the joke, don't even worry about it. I mean, I was just being silly and decided to keep that one in after I shared it with my Twitter followers on my second channel, and lots of people seem to really like it actually, so I'm glad because my sense of humour can be a little bit silly sometimes, right? But it's only jokes and there's nothing else to it. So what we're doing is we're building a perimeter around our game, and this is going to come in like 2 different stages. The first one is the bottom wall, which looks really boring and bland because it's all made out of stone bricks, and we'll have to change it up with some mossy cobblestone and some cracked stone bricks thrown in here. Maybe a few other blocks, have a couple of things around the outside just to make it look a little more interesting. And then we're going to put a garden sort of on the inside, and when I say garden, really what I mean is a trim. What I'm talking about is some dirt or some coarse dirt, and we don't need a lot of this stuff. We just need like a trim of it on the inside. And the problem here is that the next wall is only going to leave 1 block of space, which doesn't really allow you to do much with this other than around the logo where it extends outwards a little bit, which breaks up the flatness of the wall. So this may get pushed back a block. However, that's kind of been measured to give us space to build on the other side as well. Now the next thing that I was going to mention is that I want to make this a safe space, because if we look around you can see not too many torches have been placed in this area, which is something I might take upon myself because mobs have been spawning all over the place and giving me grief when it's night time. But since we're building this wall upwards, I've realised that this is like a safe space here in the middle, so it would be a great idea for me to light all of this up and then move all of my ender chests and the bed that I've been using into this area, because I got them all like laid out on this side over here at the moment. So if we put them on the inside, they'll be nice and safe. This is what I'm talking about. Creepers are spawning inside of this area. It's slightly alarming. They can probably also spawn maybe on a couple of blocks around here. So I kind of need to like plaster torches everywhere really, don't I? I'm doing some resource gathering and picking up some materials from a project, and thought of a clever way to get out of here. I'm going to tap spacebar, then right click. Aha, we hit the ceiling, turn around, and out we go. How cool was that? How cool was that? So yeah, I was just over there picking up some materials. I've got some stone, hardened clay and dirt, and loads more of that stuff, including gravel in here. So we've got quite a few options for building this thing. And let's just take a moment to take a look at this from the sky, because we can really get a sense of how it's going to fit into the area. Now I'm going to wait to turn around until those sparkles have gone, because they give you a real boost and you fly over things too quickly. So going in a little bit slower, this is going to look fantastic when it's done, and it's massive as well. Oh my goodness me, this is going to be a very cool project. Oh, well, there go my shears. We are destroying this vine farm over here. Man, I'm so glad that I built this, because it is such a convenience to drop over here and pick these out. You know, if ever this looks like something you'd want to build, a nice way to grab lots of vines, I did make a tutorial on it in the end, so you can always check the tutorials playlist. And yes, I cannot say that word correctly. And if it made no sense why I was at the vine farm, well, we're getting ourselves some mossy stone bricks and some cracked stone bricks so we can make our stone walls a little more appealing. Another good material to throw into this wall is some stairs. And I may have made a fatal mistake here, because it kind of looks a little bit odd. I think I need to use those stair blocks a little bit more sparingly. Let's get back up there in the sky. And another fatal mistake that I've made, being a little bit dramatic here, is the flat walls. I think you've always got to avoid flat walls with buildings. And so now my objective is to make it less flat. But you can clearly get a sense of the shape and the structure. And let's land right here in the middle. Amazing. Hi. And what we're going to do on the inside is have a wall between this one and our stone bricks here, which I think I'm going to change out. I think too much stone bricks is a bad thing, although this wall would separate you from it, right? So this thing is going to go up here, and I don't know what material it's going to be made out of. I might actually go with clay and just make a pattern, but it can come up a little bit higher than this wall here. So then there'll start to be a little bit of a 3D effect going on. And then we're also going to come down the front here and try and build some things at the front, just to take away from the flatness that's going on at the moment. So I am confident that we'll be able to make this a lot nicer as time goes by. But one thing I do want to do is not spend the whole episode in the same place. So we're actually going to take a break. So we are going to be working on another project for a little bit of this episode, but before we do so, I'd like to tell you a story and show you Tango's minigame, which is about to load in. Come on now. There it is. Look at that. A beautiful wall of curtain has been deployed around the edge, which is a pretty fantastic way of building a massive wall, and this thing looks extremely cool from the inside now. I cannot wait to start playing this, but something happened the other day and I thought, what are the odds of that? I tuned in to Tango's live stream the second he was talking about something that had happened over here, and I trolled him. I successfully trolled him, and unfortunately his cactus had been removed, but he had some free high cactus growing around here that he had been using, and I came by to say hello and he was AFK, so I decided to leave 3 extra cactus on top, so it looked like it had grown 6 tall. And he actually fell for it for a second. He was like, oh look, Impulse, look, it's grown 6 tall. Did you know they could do that? And I was thinking, that's crazy. What are the odds though of me tuning in right as he started to talk about that? And then I thought about it a little bit and I thought, well actually, I play on the same server as him. He's streaming from this server. He's working on the project that I've trolled him on. And actually, I think for the amount of times I tune into a live stream, it wouldn't be too surprising if someone happened to be talking about me. But I thought it was funny. Anyway, we're going to head back over to our base. I would like to do a little bit of work on that again in this episode. So I've made it my mission this series to go above ground a lot more, but I do love building underground, and this area down here has come together a treat. We've got 4 of these different bone mill tunnels, all connecting to different things, and they look fantastic. I've got to say, this room right here, the feedback, by the way, really good. Loads of you loved it, so thank you for your support as always. It's really good to know that you guys are enjoying what I'm building here. So hopefully this next bit will meet your standards. However, it's going to be sort of like what we built before. So I've got to sort out this staircase, and I think acacia, like every other block, looks really cool. But we then need something else to go in there, which looks interesting. I'm not sure what I should do yet. Hello, kitty cat. How's it going? These things, these little guys just teleport to me all over the place. When it comes to this room though, I've been laying out these slabs like we've done in the room above, so we know where the walls are going to go and where the floor will be. And over on this side, I was about to lay some slabs down here as well, as I think we're going to have like a slab trim here and then a wall 1 block over. So it'll be 1 block away from this. This also needs a little bit of work. And then I was thinking maybe we could have another little tunnel here, because there is something on the other side of this. What will it be? We're about to find out. That's actually kind of convenient. If I want to go to the elytra launcher, I can walk up here and then down there, and it'll take me to it. Does that line up perfectly with the path? Please do. Oh, it's kind of off by 1 block. I'm not sure if I want to connect that or not. That's something we might do. This room is going to be great, I tell ya. So this is our staircase. I kind of ended up with this like space here, and I decided to put some paintings down because it kind of leads you into the area where those are prominent. Then on the sides it's sandstone and acacia with some glowstone, which I covered in carpets, and that leads us up to this room. And what we did before is we put glass on top, but you could see up to the next level. In fact, it kind of looks like, I believe I've missed a bit of a spot here, haven't I? I need to fill that in with something. What we're going to do at the bottom, though, as you can see, is just fill it in with sandstone and then put the glass over the top. So when it comes to this staircase, I've just put stairs down the side and we've got a big old block coming down to the ground. So we need a trim of something here, and I think I'm just going to go with spruce woods and then brown carpets with glowstone underneath once again. And then this room is going to come together nice and tidy. But when it comes to that little space over on the side there, what I've been thinking is we can make it line up with this, but what we have is a plummet down to the depths of our base where we have our bone meal farm. So if we put a trapdoor here, then its use is sort of optional, so to speak, so you can walk over it to the right and go up the stairs. Little neatness and layout things like that are very important to me. So that's why I'm fussing about all this kind of stuff. I know some of you probably play and you don't really care if things don't quite line up, but I like to do that. Progress is being made. That word, progress. You know I love to do my jump cuts for lots of things going on. This is just looking a little bit bland so far. I know you're thinking that, just these plain sandstone walls. If we think about what was going on up here, because we kind of copied the design and it's a little bit taller, this floor, there were things to go on each of these walls. So I need ideas and suggestions from you guys, because I ain't got nothing at the moment. Maybe a couple of simple projects that could like fit into spaces behind those walls would be a good thing. And I also don't think this lines up particularly well. That's 5 wide. Then we have 6, 5, 5, and is that 7? It's like all over the place, you know, but it kind of works and it goes around all sides. And then we would put in the roof next. What would the roof be? It's just going to be slabs. Do I have any on me? Yeah, it's going to be slabs in this position here. And then after that, I don't know how we're going to bring it across the whole room. But it will come together nice and easy. I'm quite confident. And what was the other thing I wanted to show you? Down this way, we're going to extend the room design around the corner, but about somewhere here, it's going to cut off, and then it's going to become this cha-cha wood, which is the path to the outside area. So we end up with a box here, and I'm actually thinking what I might do is try and capture some witches or something. And one spawned here earlier as well. Capture a witch, name tag her, and then put her inside a little cage here. Maybe we'll contact Derp, and you guys again could suggest a cool mob to have captured in that area. So the problem with our path here, it's going to be nice and simple from this point. It will literally just be a tunnel going through the clay leading out to our lighthouse, which I am struggling to parkour onto, aren't I? That thing is glorious, man. We did such a great job of building that, actually. I'm really happy with it. But yeah, you can see that this build gets in the way slightly, so we literally have this moment where the path is just going to creep up a little bit and go down. It's going to look kind of silly, but do you know what? I'm not really bothered by it. Oh my goodness me, is this looking good. Do you know what? I just think I went into some sort of Minecraft trance there, just placing block after block in pursuit of something, and I think we have found that. I like this organic, slightly chaotic feel as we walk through the tunnel to the lighthouse. Yeah, this turned out great. So you can see I've put in some end rods. I was thinking that they would look cool for light, and the little particle effect dropping down might catch your eye, but it's sort of hidden. And there's a few of those all over the place. But yeah, the path has been complete. And there was this yellow and brown strip here. And I just had to change it up and not make it all uniform. And that has actually turned out really, really cool. And in this room as well, we've made a lot of progress. I made a decision about the ceiling. I decided not to fill this with slabs going all the way across, because that would limit our building options and we couldn't have a lot of depth. I kind of like the oddity of seeing the floor above come through. and I was almost going to scrap it, but then I went and looked at the floor above, and I thought, actually, we have a fair bit of that in this room, and it kind of gives it an odd charm. It's not a perfect one, but I like it. It's just different from what you normally see, and it doesn't really look unfinished to me. It just looks like that's how it's supposed to be. So all is good here. This is my little arrangement on this side for us to get through. I think the orange and the acacia work really well together, and we're left with very little left to do in this room now. I need to tidy up this wall over here and make our cage for some potential mobs that we might be hiding here, and I've got one other little idea to show you. And that is our riches room. It's basically a vault, and it's not very big as well, but I thought I'd put a few diamond blocks, gold blocks, and iron blocks on display behind here. It certainly looks cool, but using these glass panes prompted me to use them in this space over here, so that looks much nicer, but the area on the inside has a low enough light level for some mobs to spawn in the middle of it, so hopefully when we come through this area, we will occasionally see a mob in there. This bit, though, over on this side, you can see I've put down a torch because there wasn't really a place to put a light here. I should probably just put a piece of glowstone in the wall, except then this thing is like you know, an even width, so it would need two, and then that looks terrible. So actually I'm just going to put the torch back on the ground and pretend that it's not there. But this little mob spawning room, I just thought it was such a cool idea. I've not really done something like this before, but if you're playing in a world for a long time, all of the caves, all the different areas get lit up really well, and then it makes it far more likely for something to spawn in such a small place, and you could easily build these sort of rooms into your base, so when you're walking around you've got mobs safely hidden behind a glass wall. It's a cool idea, and I'm glad we got to implement it a little bit. But we are now done with this. This project is finished. We have connected everything together, and there's nothing more to do in the basement of our base. So we are back over at the minigame, and the difference between this build and many of my builds is that there hasn't been a lot of preparation into the build that we're going to put around it. It's like a collection of ideas that come together, and in the first idea you have a vision of something, and then that vision fades a little bit and it alters and it's kind of imperfect, and I've realised that this clay is really quite contrasting to the stone brick that we've got going on here. So I wanted to put clay in as the material behind here, and I think maybe I should have thought about that a little bit longer, but now that I've prepared and started putting this together, I'm sort of seeing where it's going to work, so to speak. Anyway, I had one of those little miracles where I went and put 2 blocks around all the different sides here, and they just so happen to meet up perfectly. Now, in the corner, though, you don't get to see that pattern wrap round on this side. You get to see it wrap round on the outside, which is also where you're not really going to see it from very much, because there's a wall over there. Do you know what? This is one of those moments where I could get all fussy and want to change stuff, but I don't feel like doing that because I'll have to rip out these walls. Well, I went ahead and I did it anyway. I ripped out the walls, rebuilt them so that the pattern will wrap around the walls here. And to be fair, I'm struggling with this build. I think I've sort of made that clear that I haven't prepared well enough, but I'm finding the ways to make this work. And I think what doesn't work with this from the inside is these stone bricks. We need to bring in a little bit of a different vibe, something a little bit more playful. And I think we're going to do that with brighter and cleaner colours, because the grey is a little bit dull and the stone gives you just such a different feel from a playful area, you know. So we're going to put in some quartz stairs here, and I was thinking also some slabs and some carpets in the area might work as well. Let's pick up that one there. I've already recorded this segment and decided to rip out me placing in these stairs so I could show you again. You know, sometimes I just can't get the words out of my mouth right. It's so frustrating as a video maker when you're having fun playing your favourite game and you're trying to say things and it's just, it's going wrong. But I don't want to go about on that. There it is again. I don't want to go on about that because it can be all too easy to moan about it, as it happens so often. Like literally every video comes with multiple takes and many moments that I just edit out that you don't see, and straight away this is really starting to work now. As we look across here, it's feeling a lot more settled. However, if we look into this corner with the white going up against this stuff, that really works for me. Now there are some spaces here where we can't actually put them in, so we're going to replace these blocks with a different texture. That right there is much more fitting, I think. And yeah, this is going in the right way. But we needed one other thing to tie this all together, and that was a roof. And I never really had a plan for a roof, and this build just isn't lending itself too much. So I think what we're going to go for is an open roof, but we need like a little bit of a trim around the outside. And I think that's where spruce is going to save us, as we'll be able to see a little bit of this colour from the outside. We'll be able to add some pillars going up here and, you know, bring in a little bit more life to the wall. But it won't be as plain and as flat as what I've just showed you. It's been a mission to get this done, and these projects, they don't get done in one episode, they don't get done in 2 episodes. There's still a fair bit more to do around here. This roof, though, it's looking okay. From where I'm standing right now, though, it's kind of like the worst view to see it from. This view, however, is far, far better. This is from the camera account. You can now see the sort of shape that I've put that joins with these pillars that bring it up to the top. And the idea of the roof here is just to kind of be light, and it's really about the view from down here. So now our flat wall has sort of been enhanced a little bit by the presence of the spruce, and it ties together some of the clay as well. And I think it's okay, but there is going to be so much more detail that needs to be done on this in the future. Let's fly up above as well. And you can kind of tell from here that it doesn't really line up because of the way that we've done the logos to give us like this lobby area. So there's going to be something different going on just above here. And I also wired up the redstone, by the way. This has all been properly done. The signs now say science, but we need a little bit more information in this area and a bit of a lobby area to be built as well. But these things are to be done another day because it's been a time-consuming process, and I am going on a little bit of a break. I'm going on a skiing holiday, which I haven't done since I was a kid, and I'm really looking forward to that. So I'm going to be taking a few days off from YouTube. I've got all pre-recorded videos for you, as there is going to be Hunt the Hermit 2 running on the channel. So you'll get your daily videos while I'm away, and it gives me some time off, which I feel like I really need at the moment. So it's all good. I like this view. This view here is good. And this is going to be the entrance, by the way. There's going to be a path on that side, a path on that one over there. But they're still being worked on. And that's going to be it from us this episode of Hermitcraft. I do hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, leave a like on the video. It may be a while to the next episode. As I said, I'm going away. So if you don't see an episode from me for about a week, that's exactly why. But we'll be back on Hermitcraft in no time at all, I bet ya. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.